Championship Sunday has arrived, and when it's all said and done, it will be either the Toronto Monarchs or the Six Nations Snipers that hoist the All Cup. Hello and welcome to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Let's send it downstairs to our PA announcer, Matt Bowman, with the call.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2026 Arena Lacrosse League Championship game. On the home bench, we have the Toronto Monarchs, and on the visiting bench, the Six Nations Snipers. At this time, may I please ask everybody to rise if you're able and remove our hats for our land acknowledgement, followed by playing of the Hudson Canadian National Anthems by Rick Hines. The town of Oakville is located on the treaty line of Mississauga to the credit. We acknowledge and thank Mississauga as a credit First Nation for their stewardship of this land. We're grateful for the opportunity to work on this land, and in doing so, we show our respect for its historical significance and first inhabitants. Thank you.
Special rendition of the Canadian and Haudenosaunee national anthems performed by Rick Imus. Rick Imus Music School, of course, located in Milton, Ontario. As we get ready to go here, Lance Wynn, bringing it to you as always one last time this season. And when we talk about the starting goalies, let's go first with the Monarchs. And without a doubt, Sam Haynes is going to get the call between the pipes. And, of course, for the Snipers, it'll be Dusty Hill that will be between the pipes for Six Nations. Officials for today's championship game, John Vandergiesen is the crew chief. He's working with Seb Baudouin and Mac Abbott. Head coaches for Toronto, it's Nick Krepensek. His assistants are Spencer James and Ryan Kelly. And at the other end, it's Vince Longboat. His assistants are Derek Searle and Jake Henhock. Of course, these two teams come in after big wins yesterday. The Monarchs hanging on for a 10-9 win over defending champion Brampton Express to advance to today's final. And, of course, it was a 19-8 win for the Six Nations Snipers over the Whitby Steelhawks in the second semifinal. And both, I won't say were expected, both, though, certainly well-earned. And as we get ready to go here Just no real notable absences. Of course, a special shout out to Riley Ford and Tanner Buck, who have to sit this one out due to injuries. I know it's got to be awfully tough to watch your team play through the playoffs and into the championship. Hats off to those guys. They have been outstanding throughout. Dougie Powell is back in the lineup for the Snipers. Keep an eye on the Snipers, of course, and opening possession belongs to Six Nations. And Stone Jacobs, of course, coming off an outstanding game yesterday where he set an Arena Lacrosse League record, 3 shorthanded goals in the game, 4 in total for the Snipers. Jordan Goddard out front. Jerry Stotts almost opened the scoring as the big man took a hit, staying up there playing a little offense. So the rest of the offense filters out. Wes Whitlow had 2 of the sweetest highlights, goals of the season yesterday. Goddard, first shot on Haynes, stopped. Rebound gobbled up by Mason Kaminga. Kaminga works it to Patrick Thompson. Transition-wise, both teams very effective. Thompson, of course, one of the leading transition players in the Arena Lacrosse League. Laycock now. Nathan Laycock, of course, first shot of the game by Jordan Dance. Stopped by Dusty Hill. Quick outlet. And it's Bombury. Bombury 2-on-1. Out there late. Twister finds the mark. And how about that? Jumping in the rush. Who else but Thunderhill? Talk about coming off a big game. And that there I thought was, yes, and it is Thunder. So Thunder with a big day yesterday. Chipped in with a couple of goals. So he was good, and the Snipers on the board first. And when I had a chance to speak with Vince Longboat, of course, he talked about getting off to a good start. That was going to be one of the main things for the Snipers. And, of course, discipline and naturally transition. So Andrew Vradenberg gets it deep in the offensive end. Nathan Fear. He'll work it, shovel it back. Stotts will work it across. They'll slow it up with Amos Whitcomb on that other side. Keep an eye out. Floating out, Chayton King, as is Armitage and Bombury. Colton Armitage. That shot. Rebound. Jacobs denied, though, by Haynes. And they wanted to get on Haynes early, so expect a lot of shots from the Monarchs side of things as they go to work now with their real first full offensive possession. Ty Jesso will kick it back out. Works on that side with Cody Menzies. Also out there, Nate Sinez is back in the lineup after missing a few games. But here's the man here in Jordan Dance. He really is the engine. And off that bad pass, working up Andrescu. Ben Wittich in the rush. He'll take that pass. Wittich takes the shot and scores. So you talk about unlikely sources for the Monarchs stepping up early on. The Snipers, they lead this one 2-0. So this is just good transition lacrosse here, and great job. It's both on the stick side. Wittich takes the pass. Good one from Andrescu and buries it, and Ben Wittich in the G column. More importantly, a 2-0 lead for the Snipers. So Fear and Ben Heidecker will be a familiar sight in that circle. Heidecker with the early movement gives the ball to the Snipers now, and they're certainly off to the start that they were looking for as they opened up the scoring. Going to have our first penalty of this game as Keelan Pilon took a high stick. So back in that 2-3 zone, protecting, net empty, extra attacker in tight, that shot wide, and Goddard, no look, looking for Bombury, and Thompson will touch it. So first power play opportunity of the game will go to the Snipers. Yesterday, Snipers had 9 penalties. They gave up 3 power play goals, but they also scored 4 shorthanded goals. They were 1 for 3 with the man advantage against Whitby. 61% is what their percentage as far as efficiency throughout the season, and back at it now. So Armitage out there, Thunderhill on the left, Pilon at the top, Wes Whitlow at that shooter, and Jordan Goddard, and that's an interference call. We'll give it right back to Toronto. Keep an eye on 66. Mr. Foulon, he does his thing as Thompson cuts to the middle, no numbers, dumps off. Foulon will peel his way out. Graydon Foulon has been a real asset to this Toronto team as they'll work some clock right now. And Foulon, good speed, good hands, has great instincts as the shot clock now at 6. Foulon, he'll take that right on. Dusty Hill with the stop. And the scouting report on Dusty Hill, sometimes a little shaky off the start. Once he gets going, though, he's awfully tough to beat. We saw that yesterday. And now Hill will work it. Whitlow at the top. They'll work it around, give everyone a touch here before they go to work. Whitlow, backhand. Chayton King, that's his spot. Can't find the mark. That'll carry him off the boards. Bombury tracks it down. 6 on the shot clock. Whitlow, no look. Down, deflected. Goddard off the post, but it goes right to Gagliardi, and he will tiptoe it right over the timeline, and dodging a bullet are the Monarchs. And now they'll work some time again. 35 seconds left in the penalty. And Innes now cruising down the right side. Innes looking for someone, and good offbeat looking inside, but couldn't connect with Gesso. Ball goes errant. It's picked up Andrescu, and now cleanly picked up by Wittich. And he'll work it up and over and get it to Whitlow. Final 10 seconds here of the Six Nations power play. Whitlow working with Pilon. Penalty just about over. Whitlow steps in. That one right off of Haynes. Haynes will grab that. Look for an outlet. Shovels it. Almost picked off. Foulon can't get it. Armitage takes him out. Whitlow gets play, but that's an over and back possession to the Snipers. Armitage. He'll work it in. Keep your eye out at any point in time. These Snipers not afraid to attack on offense as Goddard stops. Kick in the middle. Armitage takes an extra hit. Bouncer right on. Stopped by Haynes. Rebound, Devin Dunkerley, and can't say enough about how he's contributed as he splits two, but the ball jars loose. Goddard now with Whitcomb in the mix. Whitlow floats in. He'll stop at the top. Whitcomb now will send it back up to Thunder. Hill, that pass dangerous. Whitcomb, though, able to play the carom. Curls around. Thunder plays that carom as well, and now Goddard. Got away with one there for sure. Whitlow in there trying to scoop it up and throw it backhand again. Loose ball. Pilon. What a save by Haynes as he takes that one away. Beauty goaltending early on from both netminders as Sam Haynes tested. So the Monarchs now with a chance here. Team's back at full strength to go to work. And it's Jordan Dance. Radenberg on him. Dance. Good cross check. Kept him from being inside that circle. Good defense by Radenberg. Flip back. Jennings, bouncer. That goes wide. Good job by Sinez. He'll just loft that on Dusty Hill, who will corral that. And now one pass to Killian. They'll look to move it up over the timeline. It's Bombury. Of course, Bombury, 9 points in yesterday's semifinal. As quiet as can be, and he just was as effective as you can be. Cutter goes down. Chayton King took down Crawford, so that'll be a turnover. And now possession belongs to Foulon and the Monarchs. So Toronto off to a bit of a slow start. Shouldn't say that. They can put up points in bunches and in a hurry as Innes. Now to work. Osborne trying to chop him down. Give and go. Gesso just over the top corner. And a golden opportunity there, but Monarchs come up empty now. Stone Jacobs going to have to put on the Jets, and he does. And believe me, he's got some. Jacobs splits two. Tried to go through. Good job by Harlan. Stopped him from getting a shot off. Kick it back out to Stotts. King swinging around. Jacobs down behind the net. Goddard in tight. Jacobs, quick shot. Looking behind is Haynes, but he had it. And now Kuminga going to try to leg it a bit before moving it up. Sinez, backhand shovel right to Thompson. Give and go with Menzies. Menzies ran into a whole heap of cross checks there and coughed it up, and now Stotts back the other way. In case you're joining us, opening quarter here from the track in Oakville. This the 2026 All Cup Final. Armitage gets a step. tried to lean in. Gagliardi having none of it. Close that up. Now Matt Kim. Kim on his horse the other way. Gets it into the offensive end. Puts on the brakes. He'll flip now, and here come the Monarchs with Gesso. Gesso working back and forth with Innes. Kick it to Jennings, and he'll work it to the dancer. Jordan Dance. Bumped out. Vradenberg playing some outstanding defense here in this first quarter. Skip pass. Innes, quick shot right off the logo of Dusty Hill. Dusty now will move it up. Vradenberg over the timeline. So certainly the start the Snipers were looking for seemed to have the same energy they brought yesterday against the Steelhawks. And it was really about shutting the Steelhawks out in that third quarter and a majority of the fourth that was the difference. Whitlow, pellet just wide. That one will go up. They'll try to keep that over the line. Bombury gets hit. Great flip back, though, to keep it there. Chayton King, but shot clock winds down, and that will take us to our first officials timeout. And that will give us a chance to quickly thank some of our Six Nations sponsors, of course. Classics to Customs Auto Body, Belco Construction, KT Gas and Tobacco, Tribe Cannabis, a little Puff Puff Pass, Little Buffalo Store and Gas, MTS Native Services, Morrow Athletics, because the gear is sweet, Guaranteed Glass and Tint, Nicosi, Wicked Extracts, and a personal message from Myron. Hills Custom Coffins, visit anytime and on the regular, you just can't stay. Quick break, we'll be right back. Welcome back as we are midway through the opening quarter of the All-Cup final between the Snipers and the Monarchs. And coming into this game, these two teams were the hottest teams. The Snipers had won 3 straight coming into the postseason. Now 5-game winning streak. The Monarchs had taken their last 2, including 2 in the playoffs to get here. Both teams have been playing collectively as a unit, and when I spoke with Nick Krepensek, he talked about controlling the tempo in the game and, more importantly, playing together. That's what they've been doing really well, and they need to continue to do so. And with this being the final game of the season, don't change a thing if you're playing in it. That shot from Dance, from his feet, chance here, looking for Fear. Fear on the bounce, shot, great save by Haynes. May have gotten a little help from the crossbar. Jacobs overran it, came all the way back to Wittich, who moves it quickly up. Vradenberg with a man on him. Good job by Dunkerley, but a better job by Vradenberg to get it over to Jacobs. Jacobs and Foulon, 2 speedsters matched up. Jacobs will find some empty space, give way Whitlow in tight. Whitcomb, shovel, backhand, and that's wide, and that'll be a shot clock violation. And this is where the Snipers got to be careful, of course. And if you're Wes Whitlow, you're always more valuable on the carpet than you are in the penalty box. As Foulon over the timeline will work it across. Sinez. Noah Kearney out there had himself a fine season. What a spin by the dancer. Better save by the dust bucket. Excellent job there as Andresco on the move, but no numbers. He'll kick that back out to Killian, and they'll slow it up with Thunder. Hill. He's going to wait till everyone's in place here and move the ball around to Bombury. Bombury through a screen. He does that well. That one was destined for the far corner. Scooped up by Chayton King. Thunder, underhand, steered aside. Rebound picked up. Tried to tuck in, but great job by Haynes as he laid down and blocked that whole bottom part of the net. Thompson now on the move. Patrick Thompson, 2-on-2, dumps it off. Gesso has room, goes to the far side. That one, I think, went off Dusty Hill off the post and stayed out. So right now, bounce is still working in favor of the Snipers. Menzies. He'll work it down. Gesso. No look pass, looking for Kearney. Tough bounce. Stotts had it, but Jacobs will back him up. Move it up quickly. Dougie Palace back in the lineup. He'll move it up. Flip now. Pilon will take over. We're under 4 minutes here. Opening quarter. 1-on-1. Whitcomb. Bullet sidearm. 3-0 Snipers. Just some good use of the defense by Amos Whitcomb, and you can see here, gets a late screen on that side, pops right back out, and then there's that, not enough to cause a whole lot, but enough to distract Sam Haynes and work that short side to perfection, and the lead now 3 as the Snipers doing what they expected or hoped to do here in the early going of this game. Just want to be able to take a minute to thank some of the players and coaches from teams not here, and we'll do that during our next break as Bradenburg had it momentarily, but who else but the vacuum in Stone Jacobs, and better keep an eye because he can kick it into high gear and take it strong to the rack as Thunder Hill now will set the pace. Good crowd on hand here at the track, enjoying this Sunday final. And too much going on inside to free up that right side. Chayton King, a little too hands-on. And now there's going to be too many on the floor, it looks like, because there was a whole lot going on. So that is the case. And there was discussion prior to the game time about that box and where you're allowed to leave and when you're not. And you can't leave the box before, but you cannot be stationed in the box on the floor while play's going on. That does constitute too many men. So too many men to call. First power play opportunity for the Monarchs. They were 2 for 6 against Brampton, but they did have, and they surrendered a shorthanded goal. So Gesso at the top. Dance steps in. Underhand goes off a leg of Jacobs, out of play for a reset of 20. Gesso, as they are working over Dusty Hill, and that's what you should do, get a lot of shots in. They'll reset that and start that one over again. So Innes and Laycock on the right on the interchange. Dance, slips it, Innes gets it back. The dancer changes the angle. Good save, Dusty. Ball loose, and Wittich fighting for it. It pops loose and goes right to Dance. On the reset, full 30 here. Gesso dumps it. Innes bouncer stop. Dusty Hill closing up shot early here, and possession was going to stay right here to the Monarchs as that one went off of Dusty Hill and then the screen, and now Gesso. So they'll continue to fire bullets at Dusty Hill, and Hill starting to feel warmed up now. Good move by Bradenburg to get it out. 1:15 left in the power play for the Monarchs. Time to burn here for the Snipers as they'll work it with Pilon. Pilon with Foulon on him, so going to be a tough matchup for him as Foulon plays outstanding D-kick. Goddard tried a quick stick. Shot clock winds down. Possession will belong to the Monarchs. So 48 seconds remaining now in the Toronto power play. Trailing by 3, and if you're the Monarchs, you want to at least scratch one out here in the final 2 minutes of quarter number 1. Gesso, and no fault for trying here as they have worked the ball well, gotten some good shots on Dusty Hill. Gesso, no look, inside, dancer, denied by Dusty. Back the other way. Fear doesn't have the numbers. He'll bounce off a check. 20 seconds here to kill. Killian, speaking of which, avoids one defender and slings it right back out to Skeen. Skeen, he'll work it. Pilon. Final 5 seconds now of the penalty. Kick across, and Whitcomb, one hand, 3 on the shot clock. Whitcomb's shot goes off a defender, and It'll be Toronto ball here as the penalty over team's now back to full strength. Patrick Thompson as we head to the final minute, quarter number 1. Menzies dumps it back. Thompson swing around, working to Laycock. Laycock has it taken away. Stone Jacobs with a chance now. If you can catch him, Jacobs flying. Jacobs rings it off the bar. Oh, what a chance for Stone Jacobs again, as he has had 5 breakaways in 2 games. Andresko, as you can see, game clock ticking down. Andresko worked over by Gagliardi. Couple chops on the way by. 5 on the shot clock. That shot wide and out of play. So 24.6 seconds left here. Possession to Toronto. So they're going to pull Haynes for the extra attacker and go for one last shot here. Dance in control. They'll start to go at 10. Working it now. 7. Dance skipped it across, but couldn't connect, and that will float harmlessly away. Wittich will shoot it up the floor, and we've played 15 minutes at the track. The All-Cup Final, 2026, 3-0 Snipers. Short break, and we will be back. Welcome back to the track as we get locked and loaded for second quarter, All-Cup Final. And as you take a look there, some excellent highlights from the first quarter, including an opening transition goal. Of course, beauty pass, Bombury to Thunder Hill, and then it running again. The Snipers wanted to do that, and they get it done. And again, it's been everyone chipping in. That's just what has worked well for the Snipers in the last half of the season, and they've done a really good job. That's just a good, hard shot by Whitcomb coming off the screen, and great job by our camera crew as so we are ready now, and of course the combatants in the circle, Fear and of course Ben Heidecker. Couple of outstanding face-off drawmen. Kaminga! Don't say it's ill-advised. Don't say it's an unlikely source, as a great stick check late will send the Snipers the other way in a hurry. Bradenburg curls out, Stotts. He'll slow it down, and they'll get the offense out there early. Snipers with a 3-0 lead here as Thunder Hill. Look at cutting. Chayton King picks the corner. Oh, the King is here today. His first of the day. It's a 4-0 lead. This again is Chayton King, and usually Chayton King likes to stay stationary, but in these playoffs, he's done a great job of cutting to the open spot. You see where he starts and then catches that on the curl and wastes no time picking the corner low on Sam Haynes. And the game plan that Vince Longboat and company have put together is falling nicely into place right now here early in the second quarter. Off the draw, a little change. Heidecker, Matt Kim in. He wins the draw, and now Patrick Thompson. So the Monarchs still looking to get on the board. They've had a couple posts, a crossbar, and then a couple of great saves from Dusty Hill. As Dance, again, they continue to pepper Hill with some shots here as Noah Kearney dumps it down. Dance, flip out, in tight. That is a beauty flip and a better finish. How about Cody Menzies showing up at the right time? Great work, great feed, and I don't know how Dance even got that to Menzies, but able to flip it, and I can't even believe that Menzies was able to do anything with that. So first goal surrendered by Dusty Hill is a beauty offensively. I'm not quite sure there's any goaltender period that would have been able to stop that one. So just a good job there. And nice to see Cody Menzies chipping in for the Monarchs. When I had a chance to speak to a few of the Monarchs, they talked to me about me mentioning some guys as unlikely sources. And I tell you, both teams have got them. And you can't win without. Those are also known as the X Factor guys. As it looks like we're going to have a penalty here. I think it's going to be too many on the floor is going to be the issue, or it's going to be Pilon, but it could be coincidentals here, as it looks like Gagliardi and Pilon are going to head to the penalty box. The officials will get together and confer. We'll just, I think the hats off, of course, to all of the officials that have contributed to the Arena Lacrosse League 2025-26 season. I know only 3 can do the final, but that certainly does not take away the value of anything that the entire officiating crew has done for us. It has been much appreciated. Boy, you talk about a bit of a thankless job as John Vandergiesen straightens everything out. Just checking. I'm going to assume then that they're coincidental roughing minors. So it looks like Toronto's going to get the extra 2 minutes. So the Snipers will go to their second power play, 0 for 1. And now Whitlow. So Whitlow's going to start at the top. Bombury, Thunderhill on the left. Goddard, Chayton King on the right. Chayton King filtering in and out. They're working it on that left side. Whitlow snaps the skip backhand, almost trickles through as Chayton King. That's not his usual spot. He goes shooter, and he was at the crease. Kaminga with Bradenberg. Kaminga keeps the legs moving, kicks it out. Great job there as Harlan secures now, and they can work some clock. 1.5 minutes in the penalty. Dance. Lots of room on the floor here. Dance going for a run with 5 on the shot clock. Dance will let that one go, and he'll even try and run that down, but you can't get anything past Stone Jacobs, I'll tell you. He is money in the bank here as Goddard rolls up the right side. Give and go. Goddard, he'll wait, slide in as Whitlow wasn't expecting that. That's an over and back. Going to be a race for it. Wittich on his horse. Thompson, and that's certainly going to be possession to Toronto. That doesn't warrant a penalty, but certainly an interference call. So Toronto now with 52 seconds to burn in the penalty. Foulon. So waiting for the final 40 seconds of that penalty. Foulon playing around with it, and good job by Whitcomb. Osborne with him. Osborne looking at the back door. No numbers there. He'll skip it out. Stotts slow it down. Work it across. Whitcomb. Whitlow. Snapped across. Thunderhill. 15 left on a power play. Goddard. 10 on the shot clock. Whitcomb had a notion. Thunderhill took his eye off it. 5 on the shot clock. Thunder on target. Haynes right there. And possession to Toronto. Final seconds of that first penalty, and then it'll be coincidental, so it'll be 4-on-4. Or I stand corrected, 5-on-5. Pardon my counter. As Aaron Funky Walker, dirty talker, to work now with a shift defensive. He'll retreat, and Innes ducking in. Cody Innes going hard. Cody Innes airborne. He cuts the lead to 4-2. Well, if you want to see the way a crease dive is supposed to be executed, this is it right here. Cody Innes isolated on the right side. Great move here on the shuck and jive. Fakes in, goes out around, ducks in airborne, and puts it over the shoulder of Dusty Hill, reaching to his left and over his right. Well done. That's a goal scorer's goal there, and it's a 4-2 game. So much needed lift for the Monarchs. Comes courtesy Cody Innes as off the draw, Vradenberg backed up by Stotts, and now Jacobs. They'll work the two-man game over the timeline, and now the Snipers back to work here with teams at 5 aside. King snaps it. Bombury has room. Goes to the overhead. Bombury picking the top corner and balls in the twine. So the answer immediate comes courtesy Jeremy Bombury. I told you he had 3 goals in the last game. 9-point affair. He was just outstanding and picking up where he left off as he picks that top corner on Haynes. Look at this. This is just a well-executed overhand bullet. And nothing anyone can do defensively, just a perfectly placed shot. So the lead back to 3 for the Snipers. Off the draw, good job by Heidecker. As the Monarchs now with possession, it's Kuminga. Kuminga protects it, gets it over to Thompson, and now the rest of the offense will float out for Toronto. Dance, fakes one way, goes the other. Dance, shovel backhand, corner! The Dancer putting it on display, and that was just a beauty. Sure, Dusty Hill thinking up top, Jordan Dance thinking down low, and that was perfectly done by the Toronto captain. Matched up one-on-one, and there aren't too many players in the league that are going to be able to stay with Jordan Dance when they're isolated, and he just showed you why. So a 5-3 game now. As a whole lot going on early on off the circle. Jacobs, Dunkerley battling for it, slides back, and Fear was taken off before. Stotts lost his stick. Now Matt Kim. Kim twister right on Stotts. Rebound denied again. Dusty Hill still sitting there. Matt Kim, what a save, Hill. 3 saves by Dusty Hill, point blank to save the day. Got a hustle and didn't get it over the timeline. Vradenberg, some good forechecking by Kreisco, as Landon Kreisco making an impact early on, and Harlan now will move it across. Jesso looking for Cohen's, going to be a race for it with Andresko, and he wins that battle. Now Snipers in the offensive end. Trailing, Jacobs flying, Stone, Cole Jacobs not able to pull the trigger. Him and Patrick Thompson now, as those two battle it out, and Goddard in there as well. And we will see what occurs there, as of course Jacobs, valuable player, took exception to the late hit. Goddard came to his rescue. And not often you see Patrick Thompson in the middle of anything, but He's there to defend. You can see, got the stick up high. That, if anything, that's the first penalty. That's what Jacobs was upset about. Goddard comes in to make sure, because of the size differential, Patrick Thompson has got more than a few inches on Stone Jacobs. So Jacobs is going to go, Patrick Thompson's going to go, and Jordan Goddard's going to go. So it looks like the Snipers are going to get the extra penalty, and that's going to give Toronto a power play opportunity. So I think they're just getting it all sorted out, but just take a minute to thank some of the coaching staff from the Paris Riverwolves and Jamie Dubrick and his crew. Of course, Chris Driscoll on an up-and-down season, a tough one for them, but of course your time and dedication always appreciated. The Oshawa Outlaws and Ryan McMichael, Andy Glenn, great job in trying to rebuild that program there. Hats off to you guys. Of course, you talk about this Toronto Monarchs team and what they've done, the Six Nations Snipers, what they've done. The defending champion Brampton Express and Jeff Dowling, exceptional season, came up a bit short yesterday, but that takes nothing away as we get the sign. So cross-check and a legal cross-check and a rough. Can't forget, of course, some of the other teams that participate in this fine league. Of course, the Arena Lacrosse League we'll be going into our 10th season next year. So you have the Ohsweken Bears and Ron Mouser Henry, exceptional. Joe Sullivan and the Peterborough Timberman crew coming along quite well. Whippy Steelhawks with Ryan Degerden and Brad Reed as we're back to it here, and Dance. So a 2-goal lead. Dance turns the corner. Dance tried to go far side. Dusty Hill right there, though, to stop that one. And now on the move is Jacobs. So good. Jacobs didn't get a penalty. Goddard and Thompson were both sit down for 2. And hence the reason you see a 4-on-4 game right now. Whitlow swings it around. They get it to Thunder Hill. They're on Whitlow tight in this game. Thunder! The rain! Bring it in again, young fella. It's a 6-3 game. So you got to start asking yourself, what can't this kid do? Second goal of the game, and you look at him and you think, well, he's really undersized, and how effective can he be? Well, instincts are just unbelievable, fundamentally sound, and he just knows the right time to do the right thing. And you saw there going to the straight overhand. He'll hang it like he's going to go sidearm, but go over the top, and that's the benefit he has. Harlan, chased by Vredenberg, scoops that up, turns it up the other way. Vredenberg in hot pursuit. Harlan puts on the brakes, runs into Skeen, but Kaminga will help out, and now Walker. Special shout out, of course, to the Walker crew. Here they sit usually top right side of that net. Good to see them all here, as they had to make sure that if you came to yesterday's win, you showed up. Now, chance here. It is up, down, denied. Dusty Hill laid down at the right time and gave up nothing. So another big save from Hill keeps this a 6-3 game. Whitlow going to work one-on-one. Foulon on him. Tough matchup here. Whitlow fakes the swim. Slinks his way in, tucks in, kicks it out. Pilon, one hand. Pilon trying to duck in, run out of room. Kick out, swing. Jayden King shot, stopped by Haynes. Ball loose, and that was checked. He'll stay right here with the Snipers. 20 more now. Armitage blowing by everyone and scores. Untouched. What a move. As Colton Armitage, look at the afterburners. You think Stone Jacobs quick. Look at Armitage. Gets a running start and then just blows by everyone, including Gagliardi. Tucks it in the far side on Haynes for a 7-3 lead. So once again, the scoring spread around for the Snipers. 7 goals, 6 different goal scorers. Yesterday, the Monarchs had 10 goals and 8 different goal scorers. So that gives you an idea. You talk about spreading the wealth, that's what they do. Working on the right side, putting on the brakes. Into Laycock, Jesso the feet. Innes and Laycock making good this time. But I'm going to check here. They're saying they're going to double check and see if that was a goal or not. Toronto was celebrating like it was called a goal. And they're saying no goal, crease the violation, and possession to the Snipers. So there you have it. Good job by the officials to get together and get that one right, as now the Snipers will move it up. Pedon. Working it inside, ducking in. Thunderhill took something off, went off a leg though. Trapped in the corner, Hill battling. Kaminga in there. Flips that one up and over. Good job by Whitcomb to read it. He'll duck under and bring it back. Whitcomb flips that ahead. Bombury. He'll slow it up and they'll work it down to Thunderhill. Hill. Skip. Whitcomb again under. Twister. Good save, Haynes. Rebound. Good job by Goddard to tiptoe around that crease, but the hand just able to catch that. And they're going to double check, but with 7:02 to go, so possession belongs to the Monarchs, and we will take a short break. Officials timeout, 7-3, Snipers. Welcome back as we take a look at that goal called off on the give and go. Laycock, as you can see it pop out of his stick and ball loose, floats there, and you could see Laycock's foot in the crease clearly before that ball crosses, and he tried to get out of the way. Nothing you can do there, and we're back to game action now as Ennis will skip it across. Jesso working with Dance. Offense spread nicely. That pass, Dance took a hit right when he released it and got away with a late hit, as now on the move is Radenberg. Radenberg looks to back door, gives it to Jacobs on the trail, who dumped it. Fear in tight, but an easy save for Haynes. His outlet pass now looking for Dunkerley. He'll run under that under 2 hops and pull it out. Delayed penalty coming to the Snipers. 15 on the shot clock. Jesso works, taking a long time to filter everyone out. Swinging around now, Jennings. Give and go up the middle, Laycock. Good save there by Hill. And another one late, as we're going to see if, so too many men on the floor is going to be the call to the Snipers, and that's going to allow Toronto to go to their second power play of this game. They're 0 for 1. So coaches have, of course, been warned about that, too many men on the floor, and the rules have been clarified. And I just want to take a second here to acknowledge one of the members of our crew that hasn't been here for a bit, and I certainly miss him, and Ryan Harkness, as he battles through some things. Just know that we're with you, and We want to make sure that you and your family are going to be okay, and I look forward to the next batch of poutine and some cookies as soon as you get out of there. High stick, Jordan Dance rings it off the post, and that will be a call. And definitely the case as net empty now. Stepping in, Kearney. That one right on. And so it's going to be a 5-on-3, illegal cross-check. That was an easy call. So trailing by 4, this is going to give the Monarchs an opportunity to close the gap as we look here. And no one takes more punishment than Jordan Dance. Now, that was actually the second hard hit I think he took up there. And either way, you can tell, boy, he's a one tough customer for sure. Monarchs glad to have him back in the lineup. Missed the quarterfinals. Give and go. Working it. Kick it back out. Kearney to Dance on that side. Playing with a safety. Stepping in. And Innes denied, though, on a good shoulder save by Dusty Hill. So they'll reset it to 20. Dance on the inbounds. Work it in. Gesso out to Innes. Ball loose. Gesso. Strip Stotts chopping it all down. Picked up though. Innes down low. Gesso no look, no connection. Stotts will knock it over the timeline. There he Stotts, boy. Good heads up work, and that's a shot clock violation that will belong now. Give the ball back to the Snipers. So good heads up play by a KG vet and Jerry Stotts. And now going for a bit of a run is Armitage. Pilon creates some space, so 50 seconds left in the first penalty. If the Snipers are able to kill both these, boy, you talk momentum, they would have it on their side. And Armitage getting a step, but Haynes closed off that far side nicely with the right pad, and now it's Patrick Thompson. Thompson over the timeline, 30 seconds left in the first penalty. If you're Toronto, you want to get some shots here. Maybe try to capitalize where you have a 5-on-3. Down low, skip. Kearney steps into it, knocked down. Stotts corrals it. Good bounce pass, and Fear ran into a wall. Just going to have to shoot it up as Killian taken down. As Killian able to get it out. So Gagliardi did a good job to take him down, but a great job there by Killian. So first penalty over. Just 20 seconds left now in the second. Still a 4-goal lead, under 2 minutes here. Opening half. Dance shot. Bounced right in and stopped there by Dusty Hill. Quick outlet pass. Going to have to play the carom. Takes a funny bounce. Radenberg took a great angle to the ball and chased, though, by Foulon. He'll work it. Stotts, good hands. Lofts that one in the corner. Other penalty over. A 5-on-3 killed by the Snipers. And they hold on to that 4-goal lead. Kim will work it up to Foulon. Foulon. Get it over to Dance. And they'll work it now. 5-on-5. Skip Innes. Innes duck in. Had a notion again. Sinez. Dance spins around. Dance on Jacobs, diving and wide of the net. Going to be a penalty, and it's going to be a holding call on Stone Jacobs. And Jacobs with someone equally as fast on offense, Jordan Dance, his patented spin move, and no one does it like the dancer. So Jacobs will go. Fourth power play of this half for the Monarchs. They're 0 for 3. So they've had some opportunities here to close the gap. They just haven't been able to capitalize, and part of the reason has been some excellent defense by the Snipers and outstanding goaltending from Dusty Hill. So back to work. Same usual suspects out there for the Monarchs offense. Dance, quick pass, working it across, stepping in. Innes, great save again. Dusty Hill. Boy, the Dust Bucket stepped up these last 2 games, I tell you. He has brought his A game. Dance on the reset. Skip. Gesso gets a screen bouncer off the post. Laycock going to run it down. He's got time as it will reset to 20, and he'll work it up. Under a minute and a half now in the power play. Dance. He'll survey it, slide it behind. In that crease dive, but Dusty Hill had that side cut off. So Innes, scouting report out, and Skeen over the timeline. Skeen will fake the flip and bring it all the way over and spread the floor with Chayton King. King zips it across. Armitage getting a running start. His shot right on and had Haynes looking behind him, but it was caught up in his gear. And now at the 2-minute warning, it's Aaron Walker. Walker, he'll flip and retreat. Dance. 40 seconds in the power play. It has been a strong first half for the Six Nations Snipers. Jesso had a thought. Dance was going to let that one go. It's picked up by Fear. Fear will move it up. Travis Stotts will run under it. Stotts down short a man. He'll think about that with 25 seconds to burn here. And he'll give way now to Whitlow. Whitlow puts on the brakes. Foulon chasing him. Whitlow. Oh, he's slick. He's got some moves, I tell you. Flip out Goddard. Goddard flip right back. Good hands, Whitlow. 5 on the shot clock. Whitlow's going to roll this one into the corner, I would think, and he does. He'll retreat to the bench now as Toronto now another power play opportunity. 0 for 4 gone to the wayside as we head to the final minute here of the first half. Skip across Jennings on the run. Jesso, skip right back. Innes steps into that one. Hill, the save. Scooped up Ben Wittich. Wittich stiff arms the defender. Moves it up. Stotts, one-handed, knocks it down. Corrals it. Stotts tucks it in. Stotts over across and was looking for Thunder. Couldn't connect, but Whitcomb with the backup out to Goddard. Goddard from way outside. Stop by. Rebound. Pelon had it, lost it, but retrieved it. And we're going to get a timeout by the Snipers here with 26.8 seconds left. They will hold. That will allow us to take a quick break, let the dust settle. We'll be right back. So back, and if you are the coaching staff, Vince Longboat and company, you've got something diagrammed here. Going to hold for the, well, you got 18 seconds on the shot clock, 26 seconds on the game clock. So they'll at least look to get a good shot here. No empty net as Dusty Hill's still there. They'll work it down for the best shot. Goddard, you can see Pelon parked in the middle. Thompson working him over. 7 on the shot clock. On the curl. Big shot from Armitage. Stop. Rebound, and they're going to call a timeout, and I think that's going to come. And I think that it's going to be lucky enough because Wes Whitlow would have spent 2 minutes in the box for an illegal cross-check, I'm sure. So Toronto now will call a timeout with 10.9 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock will be off, and like I said, when you talk strategy from a Toronto perspective, we'll see what they've drawn up. They've done a really good job in executing the plays that have been given to them by Nick Krepensek and, of course, Spencer Janes and Ryan Kelly. They have been effective in having their team buy in. Like I told you before, Jordan Dance was not in the lineup for the quarterfinals, and they came up with a big win. So to have him back for the semis and now the final, a big thing. You always want to have your captain involved in things. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what is in store here for this final possession of the opening half. So Dusty Hill's been good. No knock on Sam Haynes. He's just, I think the shot percentage or the, as far as the proximity of shots go, the snipers have had it from the higher percentage inside that dotted half circle, and hence the 7-3 lead. So here we go now. Final possession. Clock ticking down. Down to 5. Dance. Chance. Dance. Tried to slip it 5-hole. Dusty Hill will hold on to it. They'll shoot it down. The length intercepted by Jennings, and 30 minutes of the All-Cup final are in the books. 7-3 Snipers. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center as we are through 30 minutes of the 2026 All-Cup Final. Lance Wynn working alongside the JBI crew, of course, and take a look at some highlights from the first half. And you can see beautiful cut from Chayton King as the ball movement for the Snipers has been in full effect. That and their transition game. Good of the Monarchs to try to keep things close. They've hit 3 posts, and Cody Innes doing a great job to stop a 4-goal run by the Snipers and give his team a bit of a lift. But every time the Monarchs were able to do something, it was shots like that from Bombury that answered the call quickly and efficiently. And as we get ready for third quarter action, a 4-goal lead for the Snipers, 2 quarters away from hoisting the All-Cup. In the circle, Heidecker back in there, flips it up. Kuminga in the mix. He'll get it, bounce it out. Harlan will settle it, and they'll move it up to Thompson. So the first couple minutes here are going to be pivotal for these Monarchs as teams come out 5 aside. They got the first possession, but they need a little something here. Innes on the rollout, getting chased. Stotts, good rotation. Kick out, that's going to go into the bench. Possession belongs to the Snipers. So I think it's going to be key here who gets off to a good start. And right now the Snipers now have held their own in the first possession. Now this is their first offensive look. Goddard swinging around, working to Whitlow. Whitlow quiet so far in this one, but his team on the give and go. Bombury, first shot is stopped by Haynes. That was a big save there from Haynes. Haynes up the middle to Gagliardi. On the side, Dunkerley. He'll put on the brakes, wait for some help. Gets it now, Innes in full flight. Working on that side with Sinez. Innes in the middle, Sinez. That one grazed the post. And rebound collected by the Snipers. Travis Stotts on the run. He'll put on the brakes. They'll move it in. Whitcomb and Thunderhill. Good pressure from the Monarchs trying to extend the D. Thunder. One-handed cradle, kick out, and miscommunication. Bombury and Whitlow, that's over and back. Patrick Thompson going to scoop it up. One-on-one with Stone Jacobs. Dump up. Dancer! What a save by the Dust Bucket. Again, coming up big. Dusty Hill. Jacobs now. Just when the Monarchs trying to claw their way back, Jacobs kicks it out. Chayton King on the fly. Armitage steps into that one right off the logo. Easy save for Haynes on a good hard shot. And Haynes now is going to slow to get up here as he may have taken that one around the throat area. And I think we're going to call for a trainer as Haynes immediately needs some assistance. You can see here. Again, we talked about the ball movement of the Snipers, but look at Armitage comes in allowed to step into that one. You can see that one is just under. Now, Sam Haynes doesn't wear an extended throat guard, so it's a smaller one, and he's a big guy, and you can tell that may have caught him just below the neck guard but above the shoulder pad, and good to see that he's okay. Possession will belong, of course, to the Monarchs here. They got a chance now to strike first here in this third quarter. Jesso on the curl. Noah Kearney, kick out. Laycock, no room for a twister. Skeen on him. Kick out. Kearney looking for some room. 10 on the shot clock. Dumps off. Jennings, and what a save again by Dusty Hill. Positioned perfectly. Now in Dougie Palace. Legs it up over the timeline. He'll give way. Pilon. Foulon on him. Shovels it back. Bombury. Steady as always. Kick across. Goddard has room. Lets it go. Haynes up and off the mesh. Stay right here for a fresh 20. Good start to the third. No one's been able to bulge anything quite yet as down low. Quick stick couldn't connect. Whitlow off to Karam. 10 on the shot clock. Whitlow lets it go. Steered aside by Haynes. Rebound. Bombury. 20 more. Down low. Pilon bounces off one. Shot goes wide. He had Goddard, but he was in traffic, so it would have been a tough pass. And now It's Foulon. Foulon will work it across and set things up with Jennings. Jennings now. He'll float over to that left side as Innes races to the right. Innes, swing it, dance. Dance with 6. Dance, changing the angle. Spin, gets taken down. There's going to be a penalty here, and it's going to be easily to Gagliardi, who couldn't look any more guilty than he did there, as he'll head to the penalty box. So we have not had a power play goal yet. We've had 6 power plays overall, and you can see there Gagliardi right in the neck of Jacobs, and that's an easy call. So the Monarchs 0 for 4, 0 for 2 are the Snipers. They'll go to power play number 3 here and see if they can't add to their 7-3 lead. So Thunderhill will work to top before the interchange. Whitlow and Goddard out there, as is Armitage and Pilon. To work now. Skip, quick stick, and Haynes had that in his gear. Wasn't sure where, as Kuminga lofts it up for Thompson. Great job by Armitage playing safety as he was able to get his stick. Now Thunderhill numbers for the Snipers. Pilon steps in, looking across for Goddard. Goddard taken out by Kuminga. Kuminga manhandles him. Ball still in there. Whitlow trying to fish it out, get some help. Thompson comes away with it. He loses it. Pushes a man aside, picks it up, moves it up now. Looking for Foulon. Foulon has Walker with him. Foulon down to Walker. Walker will think about it, but no numbers there with McLaughlin and Vredenberg on point. Laycock. He'll keep it outside into the final minute to kill here for the Monarchs. Stotts not able to stay with him. Gets back. Laycock, great swim move, spin. Laycock trying to bull his way. Does a good job to work the shot clock and kill some valuable seconds. Snipers, though, will get a chance. 40 seconds left in a man advantage. Hill. Bring that over. They'll set it up now. Chayton King on that right side. Down in the crease. Kick across. Bombury. Hill not able to handle that, but miscued there. Harlan couldn't get it clean. 5 on the shot clock. Whitlow. Pass knocked down. Whitlow trying to fish it out. Bombury. Quick shot. Saved by Haynes. That was dangerous, I tell you. Haynes had to be well awake and on his game to make that save. Quick pass to Nance. Final 5 seconds now with the penalty. So the Monarchs have done a great job killing penalties, as have the Snipers here in this game. Ball swing across. Innes looking for an opening. Innes ducks under. Innes tried to go far side, but just wide. Picked up by Jennings, and they'll work 20 more now. Dance. Dance with a man on him. Sheds one defender. Dance ducks under. Dance, quick shot. Stop. Rebound picked up. Almost got his own rebound. And now a flip up Skeen. Skeen, one man to beat. Jumping in the rushes. Whitcomb. Skeen. Whitcomb with Osborne. Bouncer. Skeen. There is an X Factor goal. It's 8-3. Once again, perfect execution on transition. And Max Skeen, great job keeping himself. Patrick Thompson stayed in the middle, didn't commit either way, and that bouncer beat Haynes, and a big goal has the Snipers out now to a 5-goal lead. So when the Snipers talked before the game about transition, they weren't kidding. They have put on a transition clinic. Off the draw, Heidecker popped it loose, but that rebound is swooped up by Vredenberg. He takes 3 hard hits at one time. Pilon backs him up. Going to be a penalty, and Vredenberg's going to be feeling that. He took 3 cross checks at the same time, and one of them was high. So on a delayed penalty now, barring a goal, Snipers will go to the power play again. Pilon swinging across. Chayton King in his spot. King works it. 10 on the shot clock. Bombury Thunderhill lurking on that crease. Gets it, quick stick, great save, Haynes. And Gagliardi will touch it. And for just the third time, Snipers will go back to work with a man advantage. 0 for 2. And you can see here, so Vradenburg 1-2, and that one's high. So I added an extra cross check on there. Pardon my counter again, but either way, you get the point. So still been quiet from Wes Whitlow up to this point. See what he's got in store on this power play here for the Snipers. Still got a whole lot of game to play here. Monarchs have been masters of the comeback, and Whitlow now at the top. Pilon able to step right in. They're giving him that. Whitlow, they're not giving. Goddard shot and way outside. So a good save, an easy save for Haynes. Kaminga and Gagliardi will team up. Thompson down, and Whitlow not even sure what happened there as Gagliardi bounced out. Thompson slow to get off, and that's a tough one as Kaminga just over the timeline swings it around with 10 on the shot clock. Kearney, good cross-check Killian as they wrap up Kearney, and Kearney does a great job just to kill off the shot clock, and now going to be a penalty here, and it's going to go to Noah Kearney, I believe. So things getting a little heated here as the Monarchs, a little frustration now. Thunderhill lets it go. Good bouncer right on. And again, Gagliardi touches it, so a legal cross-check the call. And right now, you're not talking about flow to the game. You're talking about doing what you're supposed to. So Sinez, the guilty party. And a lot of beef in it, but these are legitimate penalties, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is. And I think that's going to take us to our officials' timeout, and of course going to allow me to thank some other people on behalf of the Arena Lacrosse League, as the crew from Children's Arena out in Oshawa. Thank you very much for all your work. Of course, the volunteers for the Arena Lacrosse League, their paycheck the same as everyone else's in the Arena Lacrosse League. That would be nada. So they do things that are above and beyond. You look at Brampton Memorial and their crew, of course, Blazer and Company, and how well they keep things. Thank you for your time and dedication. Talk about the crew over at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena, or the ILA, and how they always help out and what they bring to the table. And thank you for your dedication. And, of course, the crew here in Toronto at the track, the staff here, thank you for an outstanding season. So we appreciate you on behalf of the Arena Lacrosse League. Thank you very much for helping us bring this one through 9 seasons. So a 5-on-3 now for 55 seconds, and a chance here for the Snipers to really make things difficult and make that mountain even higher to climb for the Monarchs. So they'll work with 4 in the offensive end. Jacobs will play the security or the safety. Whitlow backhand bullet, tried to go 5-hole, but Haynes, as of course Whitlow, one of the best backhands in the league, and Jacobs laid it on Thompson, and Gagliardi laid it on Whitlow. So that'll even itself out, pretty fair. And now the Snipers back in the offensive end. Whitlow working with Goddard. Whitlow will retreat. I think he's got a broken stick from this vantage point, as Jacobs now jumps in the rush. Jacobs thought about it. Chayton King zips it. Thunderhill underhand, and Hill almost slid that on the shorty short, but a great stop there by Sam Haynes. Mason Kaminga now going to do some leg work. Keeps it. Great fake Kaminga. Beauty bounce pass, but suicide, as that's going to be a penalty on Paulus. Wittich chases him out. Chance, Innes, bullet, stopped by Hill, and that's an easy call as Dougie Paulus. The hit was fair, but the offensive player defenseless, so in a position you could really hurt him, and Paulus going to head over to the penalty box. 54 seconds left here. Then the Monarchs will go on an abbreviated power play. So good job as the officials get together and make sure that was the right call. That certainly from this vantage point, that was the right call to make. And Dougie Palace, of course, coming off a one-game suspension, but I don't think there was any malicious intent there. He just caught him at the wrong time, but it is a 5-minute major for Palace and a chance now for the Snipers. But in the meantime, 4-on-4 here for 47 seconds. Innes looking inside. Not a good pass. As now a chance for the Snipers. 2-on-0. Legging it. Ben Wittich. Innes flying back. Innes. Curl. Dump over. Shot off the post. And a late hit will keep it right here. So Wittich on a great job by Cody Innes to run him down. Great hustle. Saved a goal there. Bombury will pick it up to inbounds. And we'll continue 4-on-4 here for just over 20 seconds. Armitage gets a step. Out. Bombury runs into Foulon. Ducks him. Kick. Chayton King, that was his spot. Man down. No call. On the run. Matt Kim has Foulon with him. Kim. Twister stop. Beauty save again by the Dust Bucket, who has only surrendered 3 so far in this game. Whitcomb was braced for that one. Whitcomb. Foulon on him. Dunkerley. It'll take more than that. Whitcomb's solid. He's going to come right around. Whitcomb holding on to it. Leaning in. Ducks in and takes that shot right off the chest of Haynes. And now Foulon on the move. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third. So now the Monarchs on a power play for just over 3.5 minutes. Need something here to get back in this one. Jesso, dance, 2-man, skip, Innes. Wrapped up Killian. Innes tried to find Dance on the crease, couldn't connect. Jesso, 5 on the shot clock. And that's through the crease. And possession to the Snipers. Killian, he'll move it up. And over the timeline, he'll stop, drop, and set up shop right there for a minute anyway. And move that up. Good hands by Pilon. Pilon will keep it on the half boards. Take a whack from Walker just to remind him he's there. Pilon draws a double team. Now triple. Ball pops loose and will stay loose as shot clock violation, but some valuable seconds burned there by the Snipers. And now here come the Monarchs. 2:50 to go in the man advantage. So, boy, Monarchs just haven't gotten a whole lot of bounces, and that's an 8-second count. So a little careless. Toronto not realizing the shot clock, and now it's going to be Vredenberg looking for some open space. Jacobs, another outstanding game from him. Whitlow. He'll go for a jog. Whitlow. Best not overcommit or else he'll shake you as he swims through with 5. Whitlow in tight. Jacobs brace for that hit. That'll be a violation, but another 30 seconds burned by the Snipers, and now just over 2 minutes left in that 5-minute major to Dougie Palace. Good hands there by Innes on a tough pass as he will work something. Stotts on him, chopping trees down too. Dance behind the net. Kearney, kick out, Dance, swing, Innes. Steps into that, knocked down, Stotts. Boxes him out, Stotts. Scooped up by Jesso. 3 on a shot clock, in tight, Kearney not able to get a shot up. Great defense by Vredenberg as he put a real wrench in the plans there. Snipers looking to move it up. Gotta hurry, gotta toss it. Great job by Armitage. Good speed. Gets it over the timeline, and you cannot appreciate speed as much as you do when you're trying to get it out of your own end in 8 seconds, and Armitage makes it look easy. Brings Harlan out and then blows by him. Good hesitation, but runs into a double team. Again, another 30 killed by the Snipers. Just over a minute left in that 5-minute major. So Toronto just not able to get off good quality shots due to the effective defense by the Snipers. They have really locked things down. Dance. Gesso gets a step well wide. Dance will gather that. Still plenty of time. Kearney swinging it around. He'll work that over, and now Dance. Got it caught up and now scooped up by Skeen. Skeen dodges one. Skeen looking to outrun, but he'll put on the brakes, and he'll wait now. 30 seconds left in the 5-minute major. Under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Goddard. He's going to dance around for as long as he can as he gets worked over. And now Pilon. 6. Pilon's shot. Haynes, good pad save. Foulon now can scoop and go. Final 9 seconds here. Foulon. Good transition D by the Snipers. Foulon thought about it. Flip. Sinez. Got some room. Dumps it off, and Jennings just not able to connect. And that's kind of been the day for the Monarchs, as they just have been that fraction of a second off. And what was working for them yesterday, not so here today. We close in on the final minute here of the third quarter. Bombury. He'll roll around, kick it across. Whitcomb. Dump it inside for Whitlow. Whitlow going to try to run this one down. Bodied off. Kaminga comes away with it. Great job there as Whitlow collides with Patrick Thompson, and they're going to call, I think, an interference might be the call, or we'll see here what Crew Chief John Vandergiesen has to say. And I think he's just looking for guys to be quiet. He's going to clarify the call. So Whitlow's probably going to go. If you see here on the replay, Whitlow tangled up with Thompson and takes him down. Now, in Whitlow's defense, I think maybe Thompson went down, a little quick, but at the same time, it's still at the very least interference, and that will give the Monarchs possession here. 43.7 seconds in this third quarter. So Whitlow heads to the box. Toronto heads to their fifth power play. They're 0 for 4. And if ever they needed something, they need something here. They have been shut out in this third quarter. Chance now. Innes from a tough angle. Dance has it knocked down. You better watch Stone Jacobs. If he runs you down, it's over. That ball loose. Bradenburg tried to tuck and go. That's going to be a delayed penalty, and it's going to go to Toronto, and that's going to be a boarding call to Gesso. So a big call there nullifies the minute 40 after the Snipers killed a 5-minute major. And now what was a minute 40 is nothing. So let's take a look here, and that's the problem. The problem is he took Bradenburg into the boards when he didn't have the ball. Now, that is a 2-minute, not a 5, but that's a tough pill to swallow right now for the Monarchs, as you would think that may have, if anything, was a possession call. But either way, 4-on-4. The guys in the stripes, they make the calls. Game clock ticking down, as you can see. Armitage, good shake. His sidearm buries it. What a big goal for the Snipers. Colton Armitage has come alive here with his second of the game. This is just great use of the defensive player as a screen, and you can see zipped across on the skip one-on-one isolation on Thompson, and on the fly right underneath the glove of Sam Haynes and in the back of the net. So a big goal makes it 9-3 for the Snipers. And for the second straight game, these Snipers have been flawless in this third quarter. It has been their quarter. Kim trying to race through, bounce on the ounce, way too much. 2.5 seconds left, and Snipers will just hold on to it. So what a quarter for the Snipers. Second straight game. They hold their opponent scoreless in 15. Big lead. Snipers 9-3, headed to the fourth. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back. 9-3. Snipers a quarter away from locking up the All-Cup championship. You see here Skeen, great job to recoup, and even better job by Whitcomb, because if Whitcomb doesn't fill that lane, that causes Patrick Thompson to come over and cover. So great job there, and then spreading the floor. You got Armitage, and just too much speed, and quickly on the run slides that one past Haynes, and that was a big goal, as now we are rolling along. Just 2 goals in that quarter. None of them, though, by the Monarchs, who have been shut out, shut down, and quite frankly shut up here in that third. So Fear and Kaminga mixing it up, and they'll have to get it out. Jacobs will settle things down. So in 50 seconds, it'll be a Toronto power play. It will be a short one, as now out of the box, working outside Armitage. Armitage one-on-one on Kaminga. Kaminga, great defense there. Closed it up. Armitage, great hustle. Slides around. Kicks it out with 3. Thunderhill bounce. And that will go wide. So a shot clock violation gives it back to Toronto. Down 9-3. You might as well let it all hang out. I tell you now, here in the fourth, if you're Toronto, Dance. Curls out. Killian on him. Ducks back in. Dance. Slide it. Innes. On the run. Bullet over top of the net. That's going to be a violation, and will belong to the Snipers deep in the offensive end. So their work already done. 8 seconds in the penalty to Whitlow. And Wes Whitlow needs to get back in. You're not allowed to hang out the penalty box like that. And now out of the bench, Thunderhill. So 15-second power play. Snipers, that underhand goes off of Haynes. Will stay here. So I know I said Toronto with abbreviated, but it's the Snipers with the abbreviated power play. Pardon my numbers. And now Skip, and that one goes off the head of the stick and out of play. So Toronto now will work it up, dying seconds of the penalty. Teams will be back at full strength now. And out of the bench, wrong side. Dance shot right on stop. Took a late hit, no call, and boy, Jordan Dance, no one tougher than him. Paulus and Gesso mixing it up. Dance real slow to hobble off, as he's going to go off on his own power. Cutting through. Cody Menzies just wide. And Osborne and Gesso, ball loose, and it's shot out. Dougie Paulus going to try to run it, but now Matt Kim has tossed the helmet, so I imagine tossing the helmet would classify as a face mask, which would send Kim out of this game. We'll see here how they call it. Now, he may have gotten his helmet off without using the face mask. And a good job by Jerry Stotts telling his team, get back here and finish the game. You're ways away, and you can see there. So Kim didn't grab the face mask. He grabbed the back of the helmet and took the helmet off. So Stotts does a good job to play mediator. And they are calling a face mask, so that does classify it as a face mask penalty. And Matt Kim is exit stage left. So that's certainly exactly the way we had it, as Kim out of this game. And a 5-minute major up there. Someone's going to have to close that penalty box. So the Snipers will go to their 5th power play. They're 0 for 4, believe it or not, still in control of this game. So time now on the side of the Snipers. They can be as deliberate as they want here. Pilon out there with Thunderhill, Whitlow at the top. Thunder sizing it up. King, he was coming up to his spot. I tell you, loves that right shooter. Whitlow, King, there it is. Shot right on. Haynes closed it up. Kept the wickets there, and Patrick Thompson now flying, but he's covered well by Whitlow. Gagliardi going to keep it. Look to take it into the double team. Jacobs runs him down. Harlan. And they're going to call a legal screen there, and possession. The Snipers right up. Jaden King alone. King scores! The King has returned again. Second of the game for Chayton King, and you got to give credit to that pass. Who else but Stone Cold Jacobs on the money. Almost the length of the carpet, and a beauty finish from Chayton King. Boy, I tell you, when the Snipers team plays disciplined lacrosse, they are awfully tough to beat, and they've shown that in their run here, as they have saved their best lacrosse for the end of the season, and Dunkerley knocked it out of Heidecker's stick. And now, so that's the first power play goal of the game for either team. And now reset again with plenty of time to work with. Pilon dumps it down low. Goddard. No look across. Thunderhill off the boards. 10 on the shot clock. Kick out Pilon. Steps in. Dump. Thunderhill bouncer! Bring it, Thunder, bring it. One more time for the young man as he picks up his third of the game. And when in doubt, use the carpet and go to the bounce. And that's what Thunderhill does here. Initial pass, but a great return from Pilon as he draw the defender and somehow, some way through the wickets on Sam Haynes as Thunderhill continues to impress everyone in the building. What a season for Thunderhill, taking over the mantle for Vern, and I believe there's another younger Hill coming up the ranks as well, so something else to look forward to. Of course, hats off. I gave props to the guys injured on the Toronto Monarchs. Of course, the guys healthy scratches or injuries. Mitch Zulian not in the lineup. Yamada, a couple other guys, of course, not in the lineup. And welcome contributors, though, to the team. Whitlow in tight, got it over top. Good Goddard. What a pass, and I stand corrected as that looked like that was Whitcomb and not Goddard, and it was on a beauty feed from Wes Whitlow. So Whitcomb adds to his tally, second of the game, and yes, you can see on the doorstep, what a feed. I tell you, the Snipers have really bought in, and with over 11 minutes to go here, the mountain has risen to Everest heights. Off the draw, good try by Fair and Foulon. And I think this may just be a case where the Toronto Monarchs, of course, undermanned for the last 3 games and may have just run out of gas here. What was clicking before, not so right now. And you can see right from the start, the Snipers were getting the bounces, and I mean the lucky bounces, as Jacobs blows by Crossley. Jacobs, good save by Haynes. That'll roll out, and Dunkerley secure it, but guess who? Bombury lifts that one up, and it stays in play. So whatever good can happen seems to be happening. Great duck, and Dunkerley got a shot off before getting tackled, and now Bombury shifts it out. Thompson picks it up, takes a hit from Bradenberg, keeps on going. Great stick check, Bradenberg, and then he takes a hit, and that's going to be a penalty to Thompson on a good call, no different than the boarding call. I think Thompson laid down the lumber, and that impeded the progress, so Snipers will get another power play opportunity. So Osborne will head to the penalty box. So that hit on Thompson. You can see. So wait, I'm looking. So Thompson didn't go. It was Osborne behind the play. So what I was talking about was actually a non-factor, and that's going to be a 5-minute major. And if you're the coaching staff for the Snipers, you got to be telling Osborne, I'm not sure what you're doing. You know, you're minutes away from a championship win, and you go and pick up a 5-minute major in a game that you're leading by 11 goals. As behind the play, it looks like Ben Wittich and Jordan Dance. Well, you can say what you want, and good sportsmanship on just a good scrap and an outstanding season for Jordan Dance. He's going to exit stage left. I would think that Ben Wittich is going to go, but when you look at the height advantage, that's a good 5-6 inches Wittich has, and Jordan Dance holding his own, but I think that's about all you can do and show some fight. So Dance is going to go. I think he would be the instigator. I think Wittich is going to he's going to head out as well, and that's the way you should do it in a game like this. And they're just going to double check and see if Wittich is going to go to the penalty box or if he's going to go. I'd imagine if you toss Dance, you should probably toss Wittich too. I think they threw the same amount of punches. So we're going to let them get this sorted out. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And everyone needs a little help from their friends once in a while. Thankfully, I got a great production crew here to keep me on the straight and narrow. Thank you for listening in as we are 10-plus minutes away from wrapping things up here in the 2025-26 Arena Lacrosse League season. Wes Whitlow looking to do it in style, of course. So 2-minute penalty on the board. And Dance has been out. Whitlow! And what a save by Haynes after he gave it away. So he put it right in Whitlow's stick. Whitlow went to the backhand. And Haynes came up big. So Goddard is going to wait here as the shot clock's going to keep on ticking. And again, if you're the Snipers, you're playing time here. You're not playing anything. So let it there, and then on the reset, we'll hustle it over the timeline before 8 seconds. And now Whitlow. Thunderhill has room. Underhand. Good save by Haynes. Thompson in there. Bodies him off and gets it back. Moves it up to Kuminga. Good job there as Kuminga. Backdoor flying out. Looking for it was Gesso. Instead, give way Innes. Innes. Good spin. Innes had it popped out of his pocket. Good job by Fear, working him over. In there, Killian shoveling everything out of there. And Dusty Hill overshoots Stotts. Going to be a little bit of a race. Good job there by Kearney to pick it up. He'll move it up to Foulon. 30 seconds left in the Snipers penalty. And Innes, great spin. Innes, shot! Just wide of the mark. And those are those opportunities where you got to at least get that shot on net, and it just hasn't been here today for the Monarchs. Jacobs will run under that, and he'll settle things down. So still just under 3 minutes left in the major penalty. Other penalty ticking down now, so Toronto will have the man advantage now. 5-on-4. Goddard left that one. Dunkerley trying to hustle to it. And he'll move it up, trying to loft it up just out of the reach of Foulon. Bombury does a good job to get back. Moves it up. Whitcomb, he's going to tuck and go. Whitcomb leaning in. Crossley on him. Whitcomb curls out of there. And he'll wait. Again, seconds. Reverse diving Whitcomb. What a game for Amos Whitcomb. Third time he's found the back of the net. A big one there, and it's a short-handed goal. And look at that spin move. Beauty, and then takes off well outside that crease area and tucks it in the corner that Haynes just left. So what a display of lacrosse by the Six Nations Snipers over the course of the semifinal yesterday and then again in the final here today. And if you're Toronto, you have to be proud at the valiant effort to even get here. Remember, this is a 5 seed against the 6 seed in the final. Brampton came in as the number 1 seed. They fell to the Monarchs yesterday. Whippy, the number 2. They fell to the Snipers yesterday. And just gives you an idea of the parity of the league, that in 9 seasons, the Arena Lacrosse League has only had 1 repeat champion. That has been the Whippy Steelhawks. There'll be a new champion crowned, and we will thank our Six Nations sponsors for the final time this season in Classics to Customs Auto Body. Thank you. Belco Construction, KT Gas and Tobacco, Tribe Cannabis, Little Buffalo Store and Gas, MTS Native Services, Morrow Athletics, Guaranteed Glass and Tint, Nicosi, Wicked Extracts, and of course Myron and Hills Custom Coffins, where they encourage you to visit on the regular, but you are never allowed to stay. Quick break, we'll be right back. Good to go here. As you can see, a 10-goal differential, and you always want the finals to be extremely close, but it's the 2 teams that dictate that. Certainly no one here in this broadcast booth as the Snipers move it up in a pass, and now Pilon. It's been impressive. Dump off Armitage, who's come all the way the length. He's the one who made the outlet pass to Pilon. Crawford now on the run. Pick it up, 3-on-1. Crawford over. Foulon. Stopped, though, by Dusty Hill. And that's been the whole story of this game. Dusty Hill in the place to be. Whitlow. Duck around. Right now, if you're the Snipers, you're just watching the seconds tick away. Whitlow swims in. Whitlow still swimming, loses it. Thompson on the fly now. Might as well take it. Might as well go. Thompson shot stopped. Rebound, Pilon. Great job to get it. And a better job, though, to retrieve it by Innes. And Innes has had himself a great game despite not having the results he'd like. But no lack of effort from the Toronto Monarchs all round. Laycock. Swing around Innes. Doc, quick stick. Jennings, and that sat on the line. Dougie Palace right there. And now he'll air it out back door. Thunder, one hand. Off the glass. Trailer. Looking, nobody coming, 1-on-4. Thunder will roll that back. Mikey McLaughlin will scoop that up. Just want a special mention to Snipers captain Mike McLaughlin for being in this league for the 9 seasons. Everything he's brought. Poise, class, dignity, sportsmanship to the game. That's what he does. Kearney bounced out. And he'll swing it around, and they'll get it to Sinez. Sinez gets a step, takes a twister, nothing there as Dusty Hill. Man, if I tell you he's on his game, all you got to do is check the scoreboard. He's only allowed 3 goals. Vredenberg steps into one. How about Vredenberg? And I say how about Vredenberg because he has been a defensive specialist, but boy, he has logged a lot of steps on the carpet in this playoffs. Great hesitation there, and then a duck and finds himself right in prime shooting territory, and again, no chance for Haynes as he's left hanging out to dry. Under 5 minutes to go, and you can see that attempt. That's been the story for the Monarchs this entire game. Sat on the goal line until Dougie Palace able to get the stick on it and scoop that away. Just remind our viewers that after the final buzzer goes, stick around for the presentation of the All Cup as well as the MVP. Jennings. Swinging around, Sinez. He's going to work that one. Missed the net. Whitlow floats it up, and Stone Jacobs going to go in alone. That one goes off of the shoulder pad and will stay here. So Whitlow now on the inbounds, as you can see snipers are sniffing it now. They're all up and ready to celebrate. That pass knocked down, and Grisko going to go for a run. Chased down, though, by Pilon. Puts on the brakes. Good shot, but another toe save by Dusty. Grisko gets his own rebound, ships it down. Innes. On the fly, right on. So now it looks like Dusty Hill, my mistake, has done his job. It's Action Jackson Longboat in there to wrap things up for the Snipers. Whitlow and Thunderhill have been outstanding in the playoffs, outstanding in the stretch run of the season. Haynes up the gut. Foulon puts on the brakes, able to elude a defender. Now scampering, looking for an opening. Kick out Thompson. Laycock. Kearney, one-on-one. Kearney blows by Andresco. Kearney tried to go over the top. Stopped, though, by Action Jackson. Paulus battling for it. Collides. Kicks it out, and a good job to get it to Whitcomb. Whitcomb with Thunderhill. He'll take that shot wide of the mark. And that'll go up to Toronto and Dunkerley. Dunkerley will move it up and around, and Innes. Sinez with 10. That shot right on. Side of the net. Rebound loose. No reset. 5 on the shot clock. Sinez thinks he has time, but he doesn't. Walker knows he'll get that on net. And Jackson off his stick and out of play. So possession remains with Toronto as we head a little closer to the 2-minute warning. That's all that's left in the 2026 Arena Lacrosse League season. It has been a beauty. That one almost in the underarm, but Longboat right there to get the job done. Now Vradenburg should be in no hurry whatsoever to go anywhere, as he will pull it out and work it to Whitlow. Whitlow and Thunder, and Haynes is going to come away with that, and Crossley trying to tempt Whitlow. Whitlow does a good job to keep a cool head. Heidecker swings it. Thompson. So this one is going to go in the books, and for the second time in Arena Lacrosse League history, the Six Nations Snipers are going to end up on top. Goddard, he'll leave that. Haynes. Do want to take a minute also to thank Stephen Stamp and Stamp Lax Productions for taking care of things on the east side and filling in whenever needed. So Stephen Stamp, thank you for your contribution, as Cody Menzies with his second of the game. That one was a beauty bounce shot. First goal this half. And I'll even take it back, yes, because it was 7-3 Snipers at the break. 9-3 after 3, and you can see Jennings' feet, and Menzies showing a little sign of what we expect from him going forward. Of course, it will be the anniversary 10th season of the Arena Lacrosse League next year. Keep an eye out. Coming back new and improved as Gagliardi off the draw tucks it in. Gagliardi twisty stop by Longboat, and the seconds are going to tick down, and the Snipers are going to start the celebration. Stotts, what a contribution. And of course, this will give me a chance to thank the crew from JVI, Gary, Rachel, Ryan. Thank you, of course, for the quality of work you bring, and a pleasure to work with you all these years. And not a whole lot to say. I've worked with a lot of really good crews on a lot of big telecasts, including the Olympics, and you guys hold your own. Final seconds here. The Six Nations Snipers are the 2026 Arena Lacrosse League All-Cup champions for the second time. 14-4 the final. And a well-earned victory, a well-earned championship, a well-coached team despite a coaching change in the final 3 weeks, and they got the job done. So, got the job done when they should, and we will wait for our presentation. We'll take a short break. We will be back with the trophy presentation after this. Back as we get set to present the All-Cup trophy to this year's champions, the Six Nations Snipers. I'm going to send it downstairs to League President Paul St. John.
All of a sudden, they get on a roll. They beat Peterborough. They win yesterday against the defending champs, Brampton. A hell of a run, guys. And everyone here, give them a hand because they deserve it. But we do get to the other side of the fence. And on the other side of the fence is sitting the Six Nations Sniper. Another team down the runway. They're starting to struggle a bit. All of a sudden, they turn it around. Okay, they win 2 or 3 games at the end of the season. They knock off Oswego, who's playing great. They knock off
A very strong lifting team. They get to the final, and they just ride it. They run and gun with the best teams in the league, and that's why the scoreboard shows that. They don't quit, and they keep going, and they play 60 minutes. Guys, congratulations on the championship. But again, you guys laughed and said, no one would have predicted this. And it's true. And that's why you guys should be proud. Because that's what we're all about, right? You play, and you have to play on the floor to win. Predictions being, or what do you say what I want to say, but you fill in the blanks. Our MVP, if anyone doubts me when I say this, learn the game of lacrosse. Dusty Hill, you're unbelievable. Whether he's quiet or not, his team feeds off every day. Dustin, congratulations. Okay, well, let's move forward here. Eddie's like the Boston, Atlanta Stats, Series Tracks, and West Little. Come on up and get your all set. Congratulations.
He's part of the team now.
Okay, let's get it back up to Lance Williams so we can wrap it up. Congratulations again
Down
to the
there.
Nation Sniper.
He's over there.
Well done, boys.
Follow 16.
Test 1 2. Check. Test 1 2.
Powerless.
What do you want?
Dust bucket.
You want it now or?
I want him right now. Let him go. Let him celebrate a bit, and then we'll get him.
He's still flashing.
you want to hold it, works great with me. Welcome back as we have our MVP, and it was an easy decision, of course, Dusty Hill, and they asked me, should I call you Dustin or Dusty? We're going with Dusty or Dust Bucket. That's the way it is. But Dusty, a new Arena Lacrosse League record. You held Whippy scoreless in the third yesterday. You held Toronto scoreless in the final. Was there anything different you coming into this game, or were you just on a roll and just feeling it?
Well, obviously, you got to spend a few nights just getting ready for these good teams. We know they had a high-power offense for these past few games, so you just got to be ready for that, match your energy.
Now, let me ask you, with about 4 or 5 games left in the season, you had a coaching change. Didn't seem to affect you guys at all. Did that help the chemistry of the team, or what was the overall effect of that?
No, I don't think it really affected the chemistry on the team. Most of us are pretty familiar with Jake already, so yeah, just having him help us out on the bench.
Now, what do you think was the best thing that you saw from your team in these last couple of games as far as everything in front of you? You at the backstop was the mainstay, but they did a lot of good things up front.
We always knew we could do this. We were just waiting for, at first it was defense and then it was goals. So, yeah, once everything came together, this was no surprise to me.
Dusty Hill, part of the champions for 2026 in the Arena Lacrosse League. Of course, Six Nations Snipers. On behalf of the Arena Lacrosse League, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with me all season. But more importantly, we look forward to seeing you next year. Season 10, new and improved. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.